The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gam Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Their company customers play just $5 at $100 bonus funds. Use promo code NBA SGPN. And welcome everyone to the NBA Gam Podcast here on the Sports Gam Podcast Network. Currently Wednesday morning, December 10th, around 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Reichel. Once again joined by Lonte Smith. Together, we're going to break down our thoughts for the two games on the card for Wednesday. We are still in the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup. So we had two games yesterday, two more games today. Lonte, how's it going with you? What's up?
And not much, Scott. Horrible day for me yesterday on the show. So hoping to bounce back here. I got pretty much everything wrong. So looking forward to a bounce back today with you.
Yeah, I see Norris mentioning that both games went under yesterday. That has been kind of a common theme in the NBA Cup over the years, which is the standalone, I'd say, actual bracket games, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. A lot of unders have been cashing. We saw both games go under the total yesterday. We only have two games, though, so I'm going to briefly recap what happened in the games yesterday. You saw the Magic win the Battle of Florida as they won the game 117 to 108. Bane was really good. He had 37 points, and the Magic were able to overcome a really bad first quarter. They were down 13 after one, and then outscored Miami by at least three in the other three quarters, won the game by 9. So nice job by Orlando. They've been very good at home this season. They're 10-4, and without Franz and with Paolo being back, they were able to win by 9. So nice win by Orlando. Then you had the Knicks, who took on the Raptors. Fun first quarter, as you saw 74 points in the first quarter. Then Toronto's offense completely fell apart, as Toronto ended up scoring less than 28 points in each of the final three quarters. They scored less than 23 points in two of the last three quarters. So Toronto's offense kind of shut down. Brunson at 35, and the Knicks were able to win the game by 16. Lonte, I'll ask you, though, when it comes to any of the games yesterday, anything jump out to you? Any takeaways?
Yeah, I guess a couple things. I mean, Miami with the hot start, like they were started, I think 15-0, if I'm not mistaken, just couldn't sustain it, and they were right there in the middle of the game. They kind of had some chances to get back in it, and I mean, they just kept leaving Desmond Bane open. I have no idea. He was just wide open like several times, and he was hitting everything. So I have no idea why they were doubling off of him. But credit to Orlando. They really like buckled down defensively. And I think Norman Powell afterwards was talking about how some teams kind of figured them out a little bit, so they got to go back and adjust. And I think Orlando did just that. I mean, they had familiarity there. I think they won all three games if you include today. Yesterday. So yeah, credit to Orlando for that. It wasn't a ton to take away from that outside of just Orlando just playing really well. Desmond Bane playing really well also. The second game, really good first quarter. I mean, after that, the Knicks just dominated. They hadn't showed the ability to be able to do that on the road. They've done that at home, but what they did took to Toronto on the road, and Toronto's kind of like trending down. And I'll try to catch a falling knife there, but yeah, I mean, credit to the Knicks. They were amazing. Brunson was amazing. Ingram was really good. It's just that Toronto just couldn't get anything going after the second quarter. So after the first quarter. So credit to the Knicks defense for that. But I mean, it was just a demolishing by the Knicks, man. The Knicks look really good. They really do. If they can get those, road woes fixed, they might be kind of dangerous.
Yeah, the Knicks decided to start using Josh Hart in the starting lineup again a couple weeks ago, and since then they've been destroying teams. So this seems to be the main, I'd say, change that catapulted this recent hot stretch they're on. You mentioned Toronto, Miami. You said the same thing about, and Chicago's the most extreme situation of this. But with the Eastern Conference being so unpredictable, there were some teams that were, we'll use the word overachieving to start the season. And it feels like a lot of these teams, the three that we mentioned, I'm sure you can mention a couple more, but they've kind of regressed back to what we thought they were going to be. Chicago's fallen off a cliff. Toronto and Miami, I think we thought going in would be playing teams, give or take, like maybe a 6 seed. So after both those teams started off very hot, it does feel like they've kind of cooled off, which is not too surprising. But people are hitting the panic button for Miami and Toronto. A reminder that they weren't projected to be that good in the first place. So it's really not a panic button thing. It's more of Toronto and Miami just starting to play like what we thought they were going to be, which is a fringe end of playoff spot, play-in spot team. Is that a fair statement? That's kind of what we thought they would be.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Yeah.
So there we go. All right, anyway, before we get into any of the actual games that we have to talk about for Wednesday, a reminder that check out the SGPN actual app, because we have all of our free picks and podcasts in one easy location. Download it for free in the App Store. Type in SGPN. Once again, easy access to all of our picks and podcasts, all for free in one easy location. SGPN app in the App Store. Download it. Just type in SGPN. Lonte, I have a question to ask you. Do you know what episode number this is?
500.
It is 1,000.
Damn.
This is episode 1,000 of the NBA Gambling Podcast.
Wow.
Milestone episode.
Yeah.
So we are doing a giveaway. We are doing a $200 gift card. I got the green light from the bosses. So we're going to be doing a giveaway that we always do, which is leaving a rating and a review. Send a screenshot of your rating and your review, Spotify, Apple, etc., to me on Twitter, and we're going to pick it randomly through a random number generator. But if you want a chance to win a free $200 gift card for the SGPN merch store, don't forget to enter the contest for the show giveaway. 1,000 episodes. So once again, not sure when some of you listening started listening to the show, but thank you for helping us get to 1,000. So want to mention that. Episode 1,000. So there you go. Anyway, moving on into the actual games for Wednesday. Starting off with the first game, you have the Suns taking on the Thunder. Every Thunder game's the same. Why bother playing the games? But you know what? It's 14.5, so maybe the Suns can find a way to lose but cover like they did in the first meeting this season. Now, the Thunder are laying 14.5. The over-under is at 226.5. Thunder are 23-1. They're 11-0 at home. Phoenix has no Devin Booker, but you know what? Wins are wins, and they were able to beat Minnesota. Very nice win there in their last game. Beat the Lakers 2 games ago as well. So they've been kind of up and down lately. They did play the Thunder, lost by 4 about a week ago. So they were competitive, but Booker being out's a big deal, especially when they lack the same depth that OKC has. But I'll ask you, Lonte, because 14.5 sounds like a lot, but the Thunder might be the best team of all time. So I'm going to ask you, with Devin Booker being out, do you want to take the Thunder, or do you think the Suns find a way to hang in there?
Yeah, no, it's Thunder or nothing for me, man. We went over this every time we go to. I mean, we talk about a Thunder game. I can't bet against them. Although I will say the Suns played them really tough. I think last month they were really good in like defending what the Thunder did well. They protected the ball, which is something they don't do. I think they're bottom 10 in turnover percentage on offense. The Phoenix is, but without Devin Booker, man. I mean, with Devin Booker, maybe they had a shot to cover it, but without him, I just don't see it. I mean, that means you're relying more on Gillespie. You're relying more on, Dillon Brooks. Like, I don't know if those guys can really – they don't have enough ball handlers, to me, to be able to withstand what the Thunder want to do defensively. I mean, they're the number one defensive rated team by a wide margin. And like I said, I think those turnovers will be a big concern here simply because they don't have a lot of ball handlers. Devin Booker can mask a lot of those ball handling responsibilities along with the scoring. So yeah, I think OKC runs away with this. I think they're one of 3 teams to win 23 of the first 24 games. I think the Knicks in like 69-70, if I'm not mistaken, and then the 15-16 Warriors won 24 in a row. So
shout out to Luke Walton.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was Luke Walton here. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Phoenix, credit to them, they've been really good, and Jordan Ott's doing a hell of a job. Like if they're, if they were to be like top 5, top 6 seed, maybe I think you kind of got to give him the coach of the year award, but I don't know if they'll quite get there. But credit to him, credit to that staff. They're doing a good job mixing the pieces together because they're technically not they got good pieces, but the pieces don't naturally fit together, if you know what I mean. Like they don't really fit together to me, but so far so good for them. I just don't think it'll go well in this game. I think the OKC pressure will get to them. They'll lead to easy transition baskets, and I think the Thunder probably end up burying them by 20, 25.
Yeah, the first game was actually pretty high scoring. I did lay in 242. However, I do think that I'm going to go with the under in this game. This actually is the second NBA Cup game, but we mentioned before all of these standalone actual bracket games, single elimination, they've been flying under for years in this competition. I like the under in this game. You're looking at the Suns recently with Booker being injured. They beat Minnesota. They only scored 108 points, so that game wasn't very high scoring anyway. They ended up playing against the Rockets. They got buried. They only scored 98, so that game landed 215. Lakers have a bunch of overs because they can't guard anybody. Point is, though, Phoenix, I just question the actual scoring against this defense, and I do think with Booker not being there, I know Gillespie's been great. I know Brooks can have a moment or two, but I just don't see really any easy possessions for the Suns in this one. Thunder also might be motivated because they did lose in the final of the NBA Cup last year to Milwaukee, so they might be actually trying to win this thing instead of just overlooking it. But I think OKC wins comfortably. I like the under in this game. I'm not sure the Suns even get to about 105. So based on that, I like the under in the game. I'll keep taking unders in these standalone quarterfinal games, etc., in this competition because that's been an insanely profitable angle for the last couple of years. Give me the under in this game. Anything else you want to mention for the over-under?
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point. I would look at the team total under for Phoenix as well. Those games that you just routed off, those were without Devin Booker. And you kind of can see the struggle for offense and shot creation. And this is going against the best defense in the league. One of the best.
But they're also a pretty good defensive team themselves. So.
Yeah, they are. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think that, I don't think they'll be able to get close to like 110. So I would go under that team total.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. Anything else you want to add for this game?
No, that's about it.
Cool. So before we get into the other game on the card, a reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, Kalshi. So the real money prediction market, legal in every single state. So you can trade tons of markets in sports, including the NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and more. They have props as well, like first touchdowns. Besides sports, they have a ton of other options, including politics, entertainment, and even weather. And a reminder for new customers at Kalshi, get a nice deal with us. Get $20, no questions asked, when you use the code SGPN at sign up. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN for a free $20 at sign up. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. So they are the home for pick 'em entries. Chance to win 5,000 times your entry. Pick higher or lower on player stats. You can mix and match your sports. It's fine. You want to mix the NBA with the NHL, with the NFL. That's fine. You do whatever you want. But a reminder, you can win up to 5,000 times with your entry. And a reminder, they have an offer for new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 bonus funds. Use promo code NBA SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the NBA Game Podcast. Finished going through the first game on the Wednesday card. Time to move on into the second game. The Spurs taking on the Lakers. Lakers are favored by 7.5. Total has exploded. It was 236.5 last night. Now it's 240.5. So people watch Queen have a 30-point triple-double against the Spurs and said, damn, this defense isn't very good without Wemby, and the total has exploded. But either way, Lakers favored by a ton after having a nice gutsy win against Philly their last time out. But for this game, they faced off the first time. You might remember that was the final 10-second game that took about 3 hours to finish because they had a bunch of reviews. It was chaotic, and the Lakers eventually did win that game. But once again, that total did land 234 with Wemby playing. Now, Wemby's out, of course, and the over-under is at 240.5. So, Lonte, I'm going to ask you, with the injury report, still no Wemby. Both teams, though, for the most part, are pretty healthy. What do you like in this game? Because 240.5 on this competition does feel pretty high. Do you have the guts to take the under in this game?
Yeah, I don't have the guts to take the under, but I agree with that early steam to push that number to 240. So I think it's probably about where it should be right now. Although I will say it is multiple ways that this game can get over. I mean, both teams get to the free throw line at a high rate. I think at a top 10 rate. The difference is that the Lakers live in the paint. They're the number one rim percentage offense in the league. And without the rim protection of Wemby, I think it should be a straight line to the basket. I mean, you saw what New Orleans was able to do, and they probably should have won that game. And I think the Lakers are obviously way better equipped to, exploit that deficiency without Wemby being there. So I can see the path to get there. As far as the number, I mean, honestly, I wanted to bet the Lakers, but the 7.5 is a little bit too rich. I wanted it to be around 4.5, 5, but I can kind of understand, the rationale behind it. Lakers are really good at exposing teams in the half court because they have so many different decision makers to play. To make plays. LeBron's been playing really good as of late. Luka's, we had a 30-point triple-double in his last game. So, those guys really are meshing well together. It's just that this type of team is not the type of team that gives the Lakers issues. The type of teams that give the Lakers issues are teams like OKC, teams like Houston, teams, who are athletic, can get up and rebound the ball, can shoot it. The Spurs are playing great, and shout out Harrison Barnes because he's been playing extremely well. But I just don't think that they're equipped to deal with what the Lakers are going to do on the offensive end. Now, if the Lakers can stop, people from making threes, they'd be a lot better. I think teams are shooting like 38% from three. So if the Spurs can, make a few threes, I think they'll make it interesting. Number wise, it would be like Lakers or nothing, although I don't love it at 7.5.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Spurs plus the points. I think the Lakers should win this, but I do think 7.5 is asking a lot for a Lakers team that's objectively not great at defense. The Spurs, even without Wemby, have been very solid. They got Harper back, who actually looked very good since returning from injury. The real question that we had was how would Fox look basically by himself out there with Castle and with Harper being injured and Wemby being hurt. And Castle, once again, was having a great season. Fox, though, played really well when both those guys were not playing. Castle came back. Castle's been very good this season. Harper, I think we'd agree, has been very solid so far in his young career. I like the guard depth the Lakers, or I should say the Spurs have in this matchup. And I do wonder, are you a bit concerned at all about the Lakers' guard defense against the likes of Fox and Castle and Harper? Because I'm thinking of hypothetical matchups, and you have Luka, you have Reeves, if you want to argue like Gabe Vincent, etc. Is that a problem? Because I feel like with all the speed that the Spurs have in that backcourt, they might be able to torch this defense regularly and get downhill. So are you concerned about that at all for the Lakers?
I'm more concerned with Fox than anybody because Fox can score it at all three levels. I think they'll be better equipped to deal with Dillon and Steph Castle because they're more slashers. So I think they'll be fine with kind of laying off, packing the paint, allowing them to shoot. Now, if they start making jump shots, then that's a different story. But Fox would be the only one that I would really be concerned with because he can blow by you with his speed. He can shoot it at a decent clip. Those other guys are more, finishing at the rim, finishing the mid range. And I think the Lakers are good enough to defend that. I just don't know if they'll be able to defend Fox with his speed. And they don't have. I think Marcus Smart's coming back. I don't know if whatever you feel about Marcus Smart, but I don't think they'll be.
What do I think about him? I think he's washed.
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that the obvious conclusion?
Yeah. So yeah, I think they're better equipped to deal with those two rather than Fox. So.
Yeah, but so just to recap, you have the Lakers and you have the over in this game?
Yeah, I would go Lakers and over. I don't love it, though.
All right, I'm going to go with the Spurs plus the points. I think 7.5 is too many. And for the over-under, once again, it's more of a system thing. If all of these standalone games go under and you give me a total of 240.5, I don't know how this game's going under, but I'll pick it to go under. I think it's a massive total. But I think the Spurs can keep this game competitive. The Lakers recently have not really won by margin. In fact, they have not won by 5+ points in their last 4 games. So they have not really been dominating teams. The last home game they played, they got buried by Phoenix, lost by 17. They've been good at home before that, but they played nobody. Beat New Orleans by double digits, beat Dallas, beat the Clippers, beat Utah. They had a cupcake schedule, but against, I'd say, pretty decent competition, they really have not been dominating teams lately. And the Spurs, I think, are pretty good. So I'll go with the Spurs plus the points. If you want to go Lakers 1-10, I don't mind that. The Lakers win a close game, kind of like the first meeting that we saw in the crypto arena. So I'm going to go with the Lakers 1-10 in this game. Think they'll find a way to survive, but it won't be pretty in the process. Anyway, Lonte, anything else you want to add for this game? Any props? Any guys you want to go after?
Yeah, I was like you said, I was looking at some player threes props. So I maybe look at De'Aaron Fox's threes. I really think that the Lakers, lack of perimeter defense will come to fruition if they could take Fox off the ball. So I would look for Fox to maybe an under assist and over on his points, simply because I think that they'll try to move him off the ball, put Dylan Harper on the ball, put Steph Castle on the ball to allow Fox to be more multidimensional, be able to score and get to the paint. So I'll look at Fox over like his threes, his points, and look at his assists under. That's kind of correlated to how I think it'll go.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think Luka, of course, is the usual suspect here based on usage. I didn't mind Ayton in this game. I think Ayton double-double is like plus 150. He's been good against San Antonio. I think that could be intriguing as well. I didn't mind Harper stuff. Against this Lakers bench unit, I think there's a pretty good recipe for Harper to get downhill, to look sharp, force the issue, get to the line. I didn't mind Dylan Harper stuff as well. But it's kind of it. Once again, pretty small card. Lonte, I'm going to ask you, though, in general, about the NBA Cup. Do you like this format? I understand that with the single elimination games, you add, March Madness vibes, except about, 80% of the league, maybe a little bit less than that, 75%, is just sitting on their asses for a week. Are you a fan of that, or do you think that should be, revamped?
I mean, it probably could use a few tweaks, but I mean, I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of how it like gets the teams play. I mean, now granted, some teams don't really care about it, but it is a prize behind it, and you can tell that they really do, play hard for the most part. So I'm all for that. The competitiveness of it. I think for the most part, since it's been implemented, that all of the players who are supposed to play, if they're they generally play. So it keeps guys engaged and keeps them playing. So I'm a fan of that. So yeah, I mean, a few tweaks here and there probably could, the schedule could be tweaked a little bit. But
I was going to say, I might rephrase my question because I know that Free Sauce mentioning single elimination. I did want to ask, do you think all of the quarterfinal games should be played on one day? Or do you like breaking it up 2s and 2s?
Yeah, I think 2s and 2s is better. I mean, just because, you want to give each individual conference their own like day to kind of be talked about, to kind of be wrote about, or whatever the case may be. So I'm fine. I'm fine with that. To be honest, I would have the quarterfinals and the finals in Vegas. I don't see the thing of.
I mean, quarterfinals and semifinals.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I would have everything in Vegas. Like, I mean, that's kind of a Final Four type of, or Elite Eight, I guess in this case, kind of feel. So I would have it there and just have it on a neutral floor.
Yeah, once again, I like the single elimination, but I just question if I really like the limited slates every day with the two games here, 2 games there. And I know the Magic game was a bit competitive yesterday. The Knicks game was not, but you're airing games on Prime, so you have to find a way to watch it. Yeah. And if one game stinks, there's no other game to put on.
Yeah, that's good.
Which I feel like, once again, doesn't really give you many options for a National Blowout Association outcome. Like if the Thunder game tonight, let's say favored by 14.5, Thunder up 25 at the half. What do? Nothing. You have no other games. You got to switch to hockey.
You got to turn on some college basketball.
You're going to switch to college basketball is what I'm saying. I feel like there should be other games going on at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Or at least stagger them out. Maybe separate the start times by an hour or 2 and go from there. But I do think it leaves the door open to getting some really bad basketball games with no alternative programming if the games are really bad. So I kind of wanted to mention that. But I like the overall setup. I said it before for the NBA Cup. I hate the group stage. I love the single elimination. I think that's definitely a great feature. But either way, that's going to wrap it up for the 2 games on Wednesday. Before we get into the Lock and Dog picks, a reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, Novig, which is the #1 prediction market for sports in America. Get some great prices. And a reminder, you can also check out the app when you do so. Get a nice deal with us when you sign up. Get $50 when you spend just $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get an extra Novig, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. So they're crushing in the NFL season, especially on props. They've been good at identifying when to fade players and take those unders. They have college basketball models as well. A reminder, you can also sign up. Very easy to do so. Use your own model, which you can build from scratch. Copy one from the leaderboard. A lot of options for you. But they cover a bunch of different sports. Recommend checking it out, whether it involves game breakdowns, sides, totals, or even props. But a reminder, when you actually want to try Rhythm out for yourself, use the code SGPN25. We downloaded the app for a quarter off your first month. Download Rhythm using promo code SGPN25 for a quarter off your first month. Rhythm, promo code SGPN25 for a quarter off your first month at Rhythm. Welcome back, everyone, to the NBA Galen podcast. Finished going through the 2 games for Wednesday NBA Cup action. Time to move on into the Lock and Dog picks. Lonte, what's going to be your Lock and Dog for Wednesday?
Yeah, so not much, obviously, limited slate. So I'm going to go with 2 player props. For the lock, I'm going to go over 26.5 for Chet points and rebounds. He had 20 points against this Phoenix team. Their front line is big with Mark Williams being there. I think he's able to push those guys out to the paint and knock down a few threes. So I think he'll be there offensively. For the rebounds, I think he's been rebounding the ball pretty well. He's actually scored 20+ points in 6 of his last 10. He's over this number in 6 of 10 as well. So I think Chet will have a good day. If I'm not mistaken, he had 20 and I think he had 23 and 11 or 23 and 12 or something like that in the first game against him. So he had a good day. So I trust him to have another solid day. So over 26.5 for Chet points and rebounds. For the lock, I'm going to keep it simple. I think we're going to see a lot of pace, a lot of points in a game for the Lakers and Spurs. I'm going to go Luka triple-double, plus 320. That's all over the place. I see plus 260, plus 340. But if you can find anything, above 260, I think that's fine.
Yeah, do you want to guess who had Luka triple-double against the Sixers last game?
You did.
Yes, I did. Plus 650.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, never again.
Good to have him.
Well, first game post-childbirth. You know,
Oh yeah.
you gotta take advantage of the opportunity. But either way, point is, I can get behind what you said there. You said plus 320, 340. I think that does make sense. For my lock on the show, yeah, give me the under in the Thunder and Suns game. The Suns defensively are still a solid team, and we know the Thunder defensively are just absurd. Even with the injuries they have, the Suns can't really score right now. They beat Minnesota. They only scored 108 points. They only scored 98 against Houston. So the offense without Booker has been problematic. They only beat the Timberwolves because Gillespie went nuts in the fourth quarter. But the point is, the Thunder defensively, I just think are incredible, no matter who sits. And you're looking at the first meet in the season flying over. So I do think it's pretty interesting that after they faced off a week ago and that game landed in the 240s, the total for this game is at 226.5. So I do think it's a bit interesting. You could argue maybe trappy. I might be daring you to take the over. I'm not going to do it. Now give me the under in this game. 226.5 as my lock. For my dog, I'm going to go back to the margin play. I think the Lakers win, but I do think the Spurs are feisty, and I do think the Spurs will keep this game competitive. They can maybe win the game, but I do think they'll fall a bit short personally. So give me the Lakers to win 1-10 at plus 170. I think it's a close game. Comes down to the wire, and I do think the Lakers eventually outlast the Spurs in what could be a very entertaining game. But I'll go for the Lakers 1-10 at plus 170 as my dog for the show. Moving on to the underdog entry. Lonte, any players you want to go for? I know you mentioned Luka. Do you want to just go for the RA? Like, how
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with anything, any combination that you like with Luka. Like I said, I think you'll have a triple double. So, yeah, I like either whatever you want to go. Points, rebounds.
Okay,
points,
so Luka RA is at 17.5. We'll go for higher on that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Anybody else you want to go?
Did you say you like Ayton?
I actually do in this matchup. I mean,
You
we just
PR?
saw Queen kill this team.
Yeah, you like PR?
I didn't mind it. I believe PR is 20. What is it? 22.5, 23.5.
Yeah,
22.5. Actually, no, it might be 23 on Underdog. Let me see. I'm actually trying to see if it even exists. Sorry, just give me a second. 20. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know if it's not listed.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I mean, unless it's at 20. No, I don't see it listed.
I see 23 even.
23 flat. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I see it all over the place. I see 22.5 juice, 23, 23.5 reduced.
I'm saying I'm not sure what Underdog has.
Yeah, Underdog. Yeah, I don't see Underdog up here.
That's my point. So we might have to pass on that because I don't see Ayton PR being listed.
Let's see.
Okay, I mean we could do PRA at 24.5.
Yeah, either way, I think that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah,
so yeah, we'll do Ayton 24.5 higher on the PRA.
Yeah,
and then for the last one, we'll do something in the Suns game because why not? Do we think Dylan Brooks shows up today?
He's gonna have to for sure.
Well, we think they might get killed, so that's why I don't know if he has to show up. That's kind of
that's a good point. What do you think about Mark Williams rebounds?
I mean, look, someone's gonna have to rebound the ball on that team. So
I think he had 14 in the first matchup, if I'm not mistaken.
His rebounds are at 7.5.
Oh, that's too low. That's way too low.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I mean, he is still a center, no matter.
Yeah, I mean, 7.5 is too low. I mean, Hartenstein is fine, but like, I mean, 7.5 is way too low.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what it is on Underdog because I see it's a juice 7.5 or 8.5. I see 8.5 on Underdog.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine.
All right, cool. That's fine. So the 3-pick Underdog entry, we're going to go with Luka, higher 17.5 RA, Ayton, higher 24.5 PRA, and Mark Williams, higher 8.5 rebounds. So once again, Luka, higher 17.5 RA, Ayton, higher 24.5 PRA, and Mark Williams, higher 8.5 rebounds. Anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the 1,000th episode. A reminder, send me a screenshot of you leaving a rating and a review on Spotify or Apple to enter the random drawing. It will be a random number generator drawing, so chance to win a free $2 gift card. But either way, Lonte, anything else you want to add for you on the show?
No, man. Shout out to everybody who allowed us to make it to this point, man. So yeah, I wasn't a part of all 1,000 episodes, but thankful for to be a part of the rest. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat and everybody who has been in the chat and supported us. Definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's been like north of 800. So I've been around for a long time.
Mhm.
But either way,
Yeah.
point is, thank you all for helping us get to 1,000. Apologies, my voice is still shot, but at least I can record. So I guess that
No, it
counts as
sounds good.
something.
Sounds good.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I'm trying my best out here. So it is what it is. But either way, till next time, we're back again tomorrow. Good luck to all of you and all of